So, very excited for another episode, 10 years in the making. I am with Oliver Mama. He has spent the last 6 years building one of the fastest growing D2C brands in the carry space. He now agilely runs an international team, 45 individuals across the globe as creative director. He's been moving about every 5 years and has lived in 7 countries, including Japan, Italy, and the USA, and Hong Kong. He brings his international insight into everything he does, from management to brand building to content creation and design. After completing a Fulbright in the US, he founded Exter during his second year of his bachelor's degree, and he made the Forbes 30 under 30. What's up? In just a few years after launching. So, Oliver, I want to ask you, you were about to launch your product and you got sued. Like, I'm
Yeah,
trying to conceptualize this. I
yeah.
have been sued before. It was the worst 6 month period of my life. I actually broke my knee skiing and got sued at the same time. So I was like trying to rehab this knee, and like it was kind of like Chinese water torture or something. Like I had like all of this pain, mental, physical, and emotional going on at the same time. So can you tell me what happened and how you dealt with it? Like I mean, you were in college, right? Like
Yeah,
no
it
kind
was
of
definitely
money or
pretty wild
business or
for
whatever.
us. It was really wild actually because we were completely inexperienced. We just started the business. We hadn't even formally launched it yet. We were actually working on our Kickstarter campaign, and I guess in the process, working towards that, we were doing some lead generation and doing some social media, building out the account. And I mean, there's a handful of people that knew about us, you know. There's only like our friends, our family, they knew that we were working on this project. And somehow one of our competitors in the Netherlands, who was also making smart wallets or wallets at the time, found out about this project in the making, and they were able to sue us before we even launched. So we were shocked, obviously, like how did they find out about us? First of all, and second of all, like is there a rat somewhere? Like how are they finding out about this Kickstarter project in the making? You know, pretty insane. And we had no business experience. We were like, okay, getting sued, it's over. You know, game over for us. We have no idea. Like we don't have lawyers. We don't know what to do. And then we started looking into it, and we realized that they just hired the most expensive lawyer in the Netherlands to kind of intimidate us because the grounds on which they were suing us made no sense whatsoever. The mechanism we had in our wallet was completely new. All the stuff we were putting in there, all the features were brand new and innovative. So they had no grounds to sue us on, but it was definitely a scare for us.
So how did you find that out? Did you use a lawyer, or did you just sort of talk to smart people, trusted advisors or whatever?
Yeah, so we did use a lawyer. We just asked around. Obviously, at that stage, you don't have the money to hire a lawyer or even find a consultant to help out with any of this stuff. So we just started looking at our own network. You know,
Right.
we reached out to family, lawyers, friends, friends of friends, and at that stage, we were both 22 years old. We had only studied. We were still doing I was in my second year of my bachelor's degree, so everyone kind of does want to help you out, you know, because you're starting off, and I guess they empathize with you in a certain way. So we did reach out to lawyers. They helped us look into the papers, look into the patents, and we found out that we were in our right.
So at that point, it was just like a game of chicken. It's like, well, you decided that it was frivolous, and you're like, well, let's just see if they spend more money on this. Did it die? Did you somehow come to an agreement with them, or like how did it end? And how much time did it take?
Exactly. So we didn't even spend money on the letter back to them. We literally wrote it ourselves with some advice from people left and right, but we didn't hire any lawyer to do this. Wrote back a letter in which we stated that we were in our right, that we didn't break any rules or any patents, and then we just went live. So it was just fully, you know, putting our balls on the table and risking it all and going for it.
That's the story of the
Pretty much.
entrepreneur, man.
That's how we
I
started.
mean, amazing. Wow. So, and that was pre Kickstarter video.
Yeah, that was like right before our Kickstarter would go live. I think it was even like a week before our launch.
Rock and roll. Okay, so people don't know what Extra is. Surely a lot of them do because this is the DTC crowd. But tell us what Extra is real quick before we get into the rest of these questions I have for you.
Yeah, sure. So Extra makes better gear for life on the go. We started out with changing the way you carry. That was our initial mission by creating smart wallets, and we broke through with the trackable wallet. So our first Kickstarter campaign, we launched the next generation trackable wallet, which you're able to track with your phone, but you're also able to ring your phone from your wallet. The purpose of this wallet was to keep your money secure, but also keep it easily accessible and compact in your front pocket. After that, as we started expanding the brand and growing, adding people to the team, we got interested in different categories. So we started looking at more, the travel categories. And now we're expanding as a brand. So we're creating more accessories, more travel goods, also branching out into bigger products later this year, bigger carry products. We are currently, this year with 45 people and hoping to hit the $50 million revenue mark this year.
That's incredible. 6 years in?
Yeah.
So you're like
6 years.
28. You're still under 30, and you're gonna crack 50 million in annual revenue. That's pretty good, man. That is incredibly impressive. And you're creative director, so are you literally designing the products? Is that?
So that's what I initially did. We started off, Rick and I, as co-founders, designing them ourselves and drawing them out, and then going to engineers and trying to have them finishing it off in the factory. But we did kind of all specialize in our own departments. So I went into the marketing department, started focusing on the branding side of things, but also how are we going to grow this brand? So all things, I guess for the first 3 years, I did all the marketing. So, performance marketing, retention, branding, content. And now I'm more focused on the content side of things and all the things you see on the front end. So what does the website look like? What's the content like? What kind of content are we pushing out in ads, campaigns, new products? We focus on that.
Rock and roll. So you must have been instrumental in this Kickstarter video that you guys did that got you off the ground.
If I was in it or behind it? Yeah.
No, not in it. You must. So you were like the driving force behind it.
Yeah. So
I liked
the video was actually shot. Yeah, go for it.
No. Go ahead. The video was actually shot what? Sorry. We have a little bit of a delay, so.
Yeah, so the video, there's a delay, okay. The video was actually shot by my sister. She's been shooting videos for, she's in the movie industry now, so she makes documentaries. And when I reached out to her about this, she was super excited to help out. So she shot the whole thing. I directed it. I wrote the script. And all our friends are in the video. So this whole video, I think the total budget for that first campaign was $500 and a bottle of wine for the cafe in which we shot it. So, yeah.
And what did it do in sales? Did I remember 300,000 in sales or something like that?
Yeah, 350,000 the first campaign.
Man, that is so awesome.
Yeah.
Kickstarter is just amazing. Like, what would you have done if Kickstarter wasn't around?
I miss those days where you could just do it all yourselves and the return on investment would be that incredible. That's how we used to do everything. The first 3 years, it was just all, doing it yourself, trying stuff out. And the return on investment was so big because the overall revenue that you're talking about is still lower. So, you just don't make as many costs early stage.
Totally. So did you do any kind of ninja promotion for that Kickstarter campaign, or did the algo just take it?
Definitely. So I was a Kickstarter fanatic or obsessed with the platform in the years leading up to this campaign. So I'd been analyzing and looking at campaigns for years. I was just impressed by all these new innovations. And I think that's one of the things that inspired us to start this, is because Rick and I both loved Kickstarter. We both loved innovation. So we knew that there's a few ingredients that really made all these bigger campaigns succeed. A few of those things, I guess one of them starts before the campaign, which is lead gen and making sure your PR is on point. So that's like early stage. You start reaching out to journalists. You start collecting emails with ads and through social media. Then secondly, there's a few levers in Kickstarter, like in the algorithm, that help you get onto the popular page. And that's the goal, like get to the top of the popular page so you get all the reach within the platform. Because the success of creating a Kickstarter campaign is all that traffic that's already on the platform. That's like 50% of your revenue. All the other revenue, like all the external revenue, that's you could do that on your own web shop as well through performance marketing. So the levers that we pulled were so the number of pledges, creating a low average order value pledge, and trying to get a lot of people to buy those, or reward and try to get a lot of people to buy those. Video views. So if your video gets a lot of views on Kickstarter, that also pushes you up in the ranks. So we embedded the video on our own website. We just started sending traffic there, which pushed our campaign up to the popular page. Engagement in the comments. So making sure that your backers engage a lot in the comments helps you get to the top of the popular page. And same with updates. So sending regular updates and engaging with your backers, which you can do through cross promotions as well with other campaigns. So making sure that other campaigns are posting about your project in their updates. There's a lot of little levers that add up and that really have that exponential effect. I think the most important thing is that the first 24 hours are a success, so that you hit your goal in the first 24 hours. How you do it doesn't matter, whether it's with lead gen or getting your family and friends to pledge, but those first 24 hours are super crucial for the rest of your campaign.
This is like, I love this, by the way. I had no idea what you were going to say when I asked that question, but like, I'm totally not surprised that like the guy who crushed it on Kickstarter had been obsessed for the prior 2 years with Kickstarter, because that's the way the world works, right? Like
Yeah,
the
true.
people who are out there, it's actually a reason I resisted creating founder brand content for so long. Now I feel like we have a land grab, and like I'm not even doing it the right way, but at least I'm creating and I'm doing stuff like this. I'm going to really dial it in over the next few months. But like, my view is, how am I supposed to compete with people who actually know what they're doing? You know, like people spend their lives obsessed with this stuff. Mr. Beast had been doing a podcast tour. I don't know if you listen to any of the interviews with this guy, but
Yeah,
amazing. I mean, he spent 10 years studying everything about YouTube. Just and like virality is not an accident, right? Like the success of this video is not an accident at all. Like it's incredible clickbait. Like I spent $500 on my Kickstarter video, you know, and you could
yeah,
you make it amazing content about it, right? But like the
yeah,
reality of it is like, you know, your sister's in the movie business, and like all your friends are like attractive, like people who know how to act. And, you know, you sat there and figured out what made these campaigns go viral over the past few years. I mean, that is like that quality that a
Mhm.
person has that does that, in my opinion, is the reason you are successful today and you will always be successful. And
I yeah, I guess you could say
people
that.
in the future will continue to be successful who have that ability to like look at a machine and want to figure out why that machine works, you know.
Yeah,
um
that's seriously
that's
how
an
we
amazing.
still do. It's still how we do business today, though. Like, obviously, it's a lot more data driven, but benchmarking other brands is really the way to go. And benchmarking machines, like you said, like looking at platforms and seeing why other brands are successful is such a big reason of why we are where we are today. Because they're doing those
can
things for a
you can
reason, and
you
you can see their success.
can you give us an example of something you've looked at recently on one of the machines and it has influenced you to sort of, you know, either emulate it or do something different or whatever?
I would say, so I'm quite involved in web design myself because I enjoy it, and I think that's also it's the store of your brand. Like it's where everyone comes to buy their
Right.
stuff, so it needs to look immaculate and it needs to work great. And there, there's so many amazing D2C brands out there that are doing a great job, that have bigger teams than we do, that have huge web development teams that are A/B testing everything all day long. So recently, I think we definitely looked at like for example, the cart of many different D2C brands. Allbirds is a great example for an amazing website, like great UX, beautiful branding, and still like it loads super fast. And it's, besides making it look good, it also is super highly converting or has a high conversion rate. So I would say, looking at different websites to see if you can find features if you're working on the cart or on different customer journeys through your site. That's what we do a lot to learn.
Do you have a headless website?
We actually don't. We have tried it, but um, ran into a bunch of issues with Shopify. Headless,
Yeah.
it's very attractive, the speed of it, but it's also very cumbersome with content management in different markets. So
Yeah.
I think with Shopify markets now, it's I think Shopify is definitely upgrading their systems enough for it to stay beneficial to be with them. But if you have a big enough team, headless makes sense.
Yeah. So there's a company that I advise. They're very early stage, but the idea was exactly what you said. It's like people without teams the size big enough to manage a headless site need access to this type of solution, and they came up with something that does it, and it's like 30 seconds for the brand. Maybe worth looking into. It's called Nostra.ai.
Nostra.
It's a speed, yeah, Nostra.ai.
Yeah.
They have two products. One is speed, and it apparently it just works, and then the other one is personalization, which
Nice.
whatever. But let me know. I can
Check
connect
it
you
out.
to the
Yeah,
CEO too. He's
that'd be super nice.
if it's something that's interested. So man, this is just such a great start to this. I like love that Kickstarter example. So besides being crowdfunded, have you ever raised money?
No, we've only gotten loans from the bank to finance our stock,
Oh, that's great.
but no investments.
That's amazing. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
do you ever plan to, or is this just like stay bootstrapped, fuck everybody. I want to be, control my own destiny. That's how I feel, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, we've discussed this is like definitely a quarterly thing that comes back, or I would say maybe every year we have a big meeting about this, and we do have a lot of interested parties, but we have never said yes to any money. Reason being, our growth is just still through the roof, and there's so much potential with all the new categories and new markets that we're adding. So, and we're really enjoying it the way it is right now. Like our team is growing, the culture is great, the leadership team is great, and we all enjoy our lives and our jobs like genuinely. So why would you throw something in there to fuck it up and potentially ruin your daily life? So I think at
I,
some point where like you hit a roof or you want like a strategic investment for retail or something, then it becomes interesting.
yeah, you literally. I mean, if you asked me that question, I think I would have said the exact same words, just like how someone from Austin, Texas would have said it. Like exactly the same thing. It's like I love
Yeah,
my life. I love my job. Our exec team is fucking awesome. Like we are literally growing faster than any other startup that exists right now. Like why would I add another seat at the table with a totally different set of incentives? You
yeah,
know,
exactly,
it's like
exactly that.
can only muck it up. And then what is this is would kind of be jumping to the end, but like what are you thinking is end game for this? Is this something that like you visualize yourself doing in, on your 40th birthday? Are you still, growing this brand or whatever? Or like have
The
you
thing
moved
is, like
on? Is it just an
we,
expansion? Like
yeah, we really. have like this brand has a lot of potential, and we really have big ambitions for the brand. And honestly, I can't imagine myself not enjoying this job anymore because of the complete freedom and also the development, like personal development over the years, seeing where I've gotten personally, if I compare myself to where I was when I started the company, and the ability to pivot roles as well. Like maybe in a few years, I want to work on something else within the business, or we want to add a completely new collection or go a different direction. I don't see myself getting bored of that anytime soon. So I would say yes, probably.
Yeah. My COO brought this to our attention. We were talking about like, I mean, we've changed so quickly, as I mentioned before the call. It's like went from 6 people to 50 in like 6 weeks. And we'll probably be 100 by this year end and like, 200, 250 by next year end. And as you grow, your job changes a lot, which like some people view that negatively, but it's like, to me, I see it as a very interesting challenge. Whether or not you're even moving around internally, it's like, you know, being doing what you're doing with a team of 50 is very different than doing what you're doing with a team of 500, right? Like it's just sort
Yeah.
of the machine works differently. And then if you whatever go public or something, then it's a whole other thing. But um, yeah, man, I'm with you on that one too. There's so much to this. Like when you have something that really has traction, like to me, it's like a really natural way, like forces of nature, like way to be fulfilled as a human being, you know? Like
Yeah.
you're eating what you kill, it's working. Like if you fuck up, you get punished, you know? There's no like nice guy out there, right? It's like
Yeah.
and it's just this pursuit of excellence. Um
No, 100%. I think
and nowadays
the
you can set
team.
it up to, you can set it up to you're not like schlepping to an office, every day and stuff like that too. You kind of do whatever you want, right? So it's just an
Yeah.
incredible life.
And the team thing you mentioned, how you guys grew from 6 to 50. We experienced something yeah, similar recently. I would say in the last 2 years we grew from 12 to 45 and probably expanding to 50 or more this year. And that has added this whole new dimension to the job and to the business, where you're also working on building the culture and building the future of the careers of all these people, which adds a completely new dimension to your job. You're no longer just focusing on creating that video for Kickstarter. You're now like, putting food on the table for 50 people. So it's a whole different ballgame. It's only going to grow more.
Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know whether I mean, you just said this in a way, but I feel like my literally 80% of the time I spend in 95% of what I think about has to do with creating excitement in other people related to what we're doing. And that's either employees or, partnerships or like, I feel like such an important part it's like the difference between what we're doing going okay and like unbelievably well is people being over the moon excited about it, in my opinion. So like
Yeah.
I'm spending so much time like trying to like harness energy from the universe and like transfer it into these employees that we have, so that they in turn release that excitement into the brands and everybody they're talking to. Um, that in that's kind of like a cultural discussion a little bit, but like it's not something that I anticipated, A, being most of my job, and B, being something that I was excited about. I thought it would like something like this would take energy from me, but it actually like kind of gives energy to me, right? Because it's like I'm
Yeah.
doing stuff and whatever, and like I'm seeing people just be over the moon about it. So your Forbes 30 under 30, anybody who has that uses it in their, one sentence bio. Do you think that's had an impact on the brand in any way? Um, or is it literally just sort of raises your status when you're trying to talk to people and stuff?
I yeah, so it's it starts off with the access to this global community, which I think is super valuable. you instantly have access to every single Forbes under 30 lister in history. So like whoever you want to
Right.
talk to, ever has been listed on Forbes 30 under 30, is now one click away, which is incredible. And I've used that
Yeah.
to my advantage a lot for the business. So finding coaches, finding even connecting with people when I'm traveling to LA or to New York or something, I just drop a message and see who's in town. So in that sense, super useful. It's gotten us some new
Like, what's
partners
a
for the
lot?
business,
Is it like
a lot.
is it
So
like 20 people or is it like 50 people?
no, I would say so. I was listed last year, and the first trip to Tel Aviv with Forbes 30 under 30 obviously helps you like connects you to hundreds of Forbes listers who are all there. So that's crazy. You meet over 100 people that are listed for Forbes, which is like an amazing network. But I would say like in terms of connections or people that I reached out to and coaches of, yeah, maybe 20, 30 people.
Hmm.
So definitely a great place to start your networking. I would say it also really helps with hiring. So having that stamp of approval helps. It intrigues people and it helps when you talk to people. It kind of does give some kind of approval for the brand.
For sure. And how did you get that? Did you apply to it? They just find you? Like, did you ninja
So
it like you did the crowdfunding?
yeah, so the way Forbes 30 under 30 works is you need to be nominated by other listers. And the only way to do that is to find listers and connect with them. You can't just randomly email, a Forbes under 30 person and expect that they'll nominate you. So I did reach out to a bunch of brands, and I also reached out to people that I knew via other people to see if I could connect with them. And I did that like 3 years ago to kind of slowly build a relationship.
Yeah.
And over that time, we got to know each other. I helped them out, they helped us out, and then in the end, they nominated us. And so I guess building that relationship early on really helped, and they nominated me in the end.
Another example, I just find this to be the exact same story as you told about the Kickstarter video with a different example. Like,
Yeah,
this is what,
yeah,
it's like the summary of it is, oh, we crushed on Kickstarter. Oh, I'm 30, 30 over 30. But like, this is all very orchestrated and purposeful.
yeah.
It's not an accident, right?
No, no,
Um,
definitely not.
which is which is great. I just like what awesome lessons. Um, I didn't know 30
I
over
mean,
30 and 30. Go ahead.
it's partly the nominations. That's like the biggest part of it. And then secondly, you get called by Forbes. You do an interview. You need to write a letter of motivation about your business, your personal motivation. So it's almost like you're applying for a university. You know, like it's a huge list of things that you need to fill out. You're writing essays. You're writing letters. You're calling. So it's like this process you go through on top of those nominations.
Yeah, that's cool. I didn't realize they did a trip. That's awesome.
Yeah, they
I'm
do
gonna leave it.
multiple actually. They do like 3 trips a year, which is crazy.
Cool.
Yeah.
I unfortunately missed the 30 under 30 and 40 under 40. I'm 42. I didn't really start crushing it until last fall, and I missed both of those windows. Um, what are you going to do? So one of the articles I was reading said you stumble upon developing the most advanced solar panel in the world. Like what is that?
Yeah.
Would
So that
Elon
was
would Elon agree with that statement? Is my question.
I mean, there's no lies in that statement.
Yeah.
We realized that our trackable wallets were, they were popping off. People were buying them. It was an innovation. No one knew about this, so it just completely exploded in the US. But there was there did exist a few other like Bluetooth trackers or tracking devices. And those tracking devices, in our opinion, had some major issues. One of them is most of them were actually use and dispose products, which causes a lot of waste because you buy one and you throw it away after 1 year because the battery's dead. Um, So we realized, okay, that is an issue we need to solve. We want to have a product that you can use for a longer period of time, somehow charge. Secondly, uh, you do have devices that had these removable batteries, but the issue with that is just when it runs out of battery, you don't have the removable battery you know, to fill it up again. So we wanted to find a solution that was sustainable, but also super practical all year round, no issues. So we started thinking, okay, we used to have those calculators in middle school, like a calculator with a solar panel on it. I don't know if you guys had those, but that were just
Yeah.
charged by the sun. And we thought, okay, why does that technology not exist? Like, why is there no small tech devices with solar panels charging them anymore these days? And this was like 6 years ago. We started looking into it. We realized that this was a possibility, but we needed to find a way to make this solar panel more efficient to be able to charge a bigger battery, because the battery of a calculator is super small and the battery of this tracking device is quite a lot bigger. It's like 10 times as big as a calculator battery. So how are we going to do that with no tech background? We started reaching out to all these engineers and different teams and found a team in the Netherlands that was actually specialized in harvesting energy through these components, and they were going to help us out finding a solar panel and also finding a way to harvest the energy more efficiently. This was like a 2 year process, and we had times where we are like, why are we investing so much money and time into this technology? Like, are people even going to care? And after those 2 years, we were able to develop the solar panel and harvest the energy to a tracker card that was as big as a credit card. And you only have to charge it for 2 hours and it lasts for about 3 months. So extremely efficient. You don't have to throw the tracker card away anymore. It was just like solving this whole issue. And that went live and it was picked up by, a bunch of media outlets, Forbes, CNET, all the big ones picked it up because it was a true innovation and we were in like the early stages of our startup.
That's cool. Um, did you ever think about like wholesaling that in any way?
Yeah, so we patented the technology, and um, we have like we've done like the technology itself did get used later for other purposes. Um, they were building trackers to like track rhinos in Africa with a little solar panel on it, so that they didn't have to like recharge the battery to see
Yep.
like where these rhinos were going. And they're also using these solar panels now in the Netherlands for like train systems. But like we had this agreement with these engineers that like our part of the patent is only really connected to the trackability part of it. So for us,
Right.
like
I got you.
the business, and also we're all about focus, like we need to focus on the things that we're good at. So we focused on our own business.
Yep. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Sweet. Let's go tactical here because everybody loves tactical stuff. So, from a marketing perspective, what's the single most effective thing you have going on right now? Sort of, I don't know. That's a broad
Yeah.
question, but answer it
So
broadly.
I would say, can you wait for 1 sec? Let me turn on
Yeah,
this
yeah,
light out
totally.
here.
There's no problem at all. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the single most effective thing we're doing right now in terms of marketing, I would say our performance marketing is definitely part of like the top 1% of performance marketing at brands in-house. Reason
Yeah.
being, 3 years ago, we took our performance marketing team in-house. So we were working with like three agencies before. We got rid of those, or we parted ways with them and took everything in-house and built a huge performance marketing and content team in-house. And with huge, I mean like
What's
we
huge?
have, for us, huge, like we didn't even have any teams, but like for us that was the biggest team. Right now we have five performance marketeers and 6 people in the content team. And on top of that, I think over 20 freelancers that are creating content for us. which means that now we're able to test over 100 of pieces of content every single week on Facebook, Instagram, and
Yeah.
other channels. And so performance marketing for us is definitely the bread and butter. Like we focus on that the most. It's our biggest revenue driver right now, I would say. Um,
Have you heard of Portland Leather Goods? Have you heard of these guys?
no, I
They
haven't.
are anyway. There's no real reason you should have. They're kind of like, you know, at the scale you guys are, grown really fast. They're run by this super charismatic dude. I met them at the Triple Whale Mastermind for like brands
Nice.
5 million and above. They're a
Yeah,
customer. They love our stuff. Um, they're until us they weren't doing any email, and they were running an in-house performance marketing operation that sounds literally exactly like what you were doing, like
yeah,
hundreds of pieces. It's just like this whole
yeah,
matrix of shit that they're testing literally constantly, and then they figure out some of the works. It's like bam. um it just rang a bell. I understand, again, similarly to Kickstarter and 30 under 30, like why being unbelievably diligent in testing with all that stuff would be incredibly effective.
yeah.
That's sweet. So between 1 and 10 million, what were your best sales channels?
So back then, I would say number one, performance marketing. Number two, PR, influencers, had a bigger impact than they have now because your overall revenue is lower. So these PR deals and influencer deals really do affect your overall momentum. Then crowdfunding campaigns were huge for us because they put you in the spotlight to get you new like news features, and it's a big revenue boost. And then email marketing.
Yeah. So did you do a lot of crowdfunding? Was it not just that launch video?
We did at least one campaign per year. So I think
Yeah.
we've done 4 or 5 campaigns
Got it.
in
And do you
total.
still do them the same way that you did then? Or is it like you're using expensive agencies and shit and like, whatever?
So we've always done it in-house actually ever since that first one because we just knew we would do it better. But in the past year and a half, past 2 years, we haven't done any because our brand has just grown to another level. So
Yeah,
no longer relevant.
I got you. And then you said your team took on a totally different scale and complexity somewhat recently, right? What
Yeah.
revenue level did that happen? And when, like, what were the things, what inspired you guys to be like, oh, we should be 3 times the size from a headcount perspective?
I think that happened roughly around like the $18 million revenue mark. We realized, we're about to hit the $20 million revenue mark, and we can no longer run this business in this way. It was literally just 3 founders, one head of finance who was a partner in the company, and then just a team. And it was almost like the founders and the team, and they were not working together. It was just the founders were deciding what was going to happen. The team was figuring it out. There was no like reporting structures. The departments were all over the place. The culture was shit. Um, and it felt like we were doing a great job, because we were growing and the revenue was great, but we weren't really building towards the future. And what we've set up now in terms of reporting structures, especially like carving out the path for people to know where they're going to go next in their career within the business, which gives them the motivation as well. But it's also important for the whole team to be in sync, to know where you're going to be next. So I guess around the $80 million revenue mark, we started restructuring it all.
And did someone help you with that? Like, how did you? I brought in a COO who's like built a bunch of data companies before, and literally just
Yeah,
handed him the fucking reins. I was like, do whatever you want. I trust you. Like, how did you
yeah.
guys go about solving that problem of what do I do?
We had issues with that because like it was, we thought we knew what we were doing, but we also got a lot of feedback from the team that we had no idea what we were doing. So we knew that like we got there for a reason. We made it to almost 20 million for a reason. But the feedback from the team was super clear, as in like we were not including them in the growth of the company. So we started hiring consultants, people managers, but just anyone who could tell us how to solve this. And we talked to so many different brands and other companies. And in the end, I think like a combination of working together with the team, like listening to their feedback and talking to consultants, helped us restructure
Right.
everything.
Cool. That's great.
Yeah.
Um, so how is your exec team set up now? Do you have like a bunch of VPs under you guys and like whatever? Like,
So we have a leadership team, which consists of, we don't have like C levels. We're trying to stay away from that, but
mhm.
our leadership team consists of, so a managing director, then a head of e-commerce, head of product, head of IT, and then myself, creative director. That's the leadership team, and then under that, you have all the heads of departments. So
Yeah.
head of performance marketing, head of content, head of partnerships, head of customer service, and then obviously it trickles down.
Yep. Gotcha. Are you guys fully remote or do you have an office or what?
Yeah, we have a headquarters here in Amsterdam where we have about 25 people, and the rest is all remote in
Yeah.
different countries.
Do you get together ever with the remote people?
Yeah, every quarter we fly everyone in actually. We
Wow.
make sure that we fly everyone in, the whole team,
Yeah.
and then we just have a week in Amsterdam and we get drunk together, we have fun together, we play games, we do all these team building exercises,
What does that cost? Like
meet.
100,000 euro or something?
Definitely pricey, yeah. It's
Yeah.
definitely a steep one, but it's worth it. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely worth it.
Yeah. I bet. We've
Yeah.
been doing, I mean, we haven't been this size for very long, and we're saying we're going to do a full team offsite when we crack 25 million, which will probably be in 6 weeks or 8 weeks. But we've been doing like small, like the executives meet every 6 weeks somewhere, and then like customer success will get together, and then sales will
Yeah.
get together at like these smaller like meetups, which I think is like is pretty effective. But I don't know. We'll see.
Nice.
I'm new at this. So, how big of a percentage are U.S. sales for you?
It's definitely the majority. I would say about 80% still.
Yeah.
We are slowly expanding markets, but the US is just such an amazing market to focus
It's
on.
so incredible.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
love it.
look, that's the only people we are legally allowed to serve, like the traffic that
Yeah.
people have in the US. And I'm like, I don't care.
You
It's
shouldn't
like
though.
expanding
It's like,
internationally. It's like, no, I'll just like build other
yeah,
products for all these brands for their US
everyone
traffic.
here, like everyone in Europe wants to go to the US, and everyone like there's only a handful of DTC brands based like in Europe that are big in the US, and they all reach out to us asking us like, how are we doing this? Because it's such an amazing market, the US.
Is there, is it just where you're running your performance marketing or like why is that it?
We so our Kickstarter campaign obviously was the base of our success, and Kickstarter is mostly US based. So our
Hmm.
initial customer base was already quite US focused. So we used that customer base, started building lookalike audiences, and built that out, and the snowball effect just went and conquered the USA. So we started
Yeah.
focusing on the US. We put our warehouses there and grew, and then now we're here.
Yeah. I gotcha. And are the other countries like, are the logistics complicated to like, selling both places, or does Shopify make that
It's
easy? I mean, I just don't know because I'm not a
it's
brand.
not really like the logistics aren't really the biggest issue. I guess it's just being able to divide your resources and your time over these different markets. It's
Right.
cost a lot of money to set up, first of all, your operation in a new country, localize your website, get the warehouse in place, get all these customer service things in place, all your privacy and your user manuals and all that stuff. Like per country, localizing that stuff, definitely a big project. So the question is, do you want to expand geographically, or do you want to focus on one region and just scale that hard?
Yeah. And I'm guessing that you're in the camp of focus on one region and scale it hard.
So that's the camp we've been in, but now we're
Yeah.
at a size where like we need to start expanding geographically. Our team is big enough. We have the resources, so we're opening up different markets now.
What markets?
UK, Canada, Europe, and then Australia.
Those are natural extensions of the US.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I was talking to Ryan Pamplin, the CEO of BlendJet. Do you know BlendJet?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I do.
so like he's awesome. He's like such a great dude. I talk to him all the time.
Nice.
He was saying India is like the market he's most excited about because all of a sudden the middle class there, because of all of this like overseas dev and VA and everything, it just like exploded.
Wow.
Like so he's setting up warehouses there. I mean, it might
No
be
way.
sort of interesting to look at that too. I don't know.
Yeah, super interesting.
So the Messi collab, how did that happen? Like, are these guys just, here's my question. Are they just, is there a marketplace for these guys somewhere? Or like, how do you even start with that? And then like, how big of a, what kind of deals do these guys do? I don't need exact economics, but like, are you paying them
Yeah,
up front or is it like,
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
So this deal stemmed out of just a year-long process of wanting to try a celebrity deal with the brand, just because we were super curious what it was going to do.
yeah,
And we were warned by many brands that celebrity deals usually don't bring a positive ROI. Um, but we thought, okay, if we do it, we're going to do it the right way. We're going to go for one of the biggest celebrities in the
yeah,
world, and we're going to just make it happen. Like we're big enough of a brand, and this would be sick for our brand awareness as well. So we put our heads together and started thinking, okay, this year, who's going to be a big celebrity this year? What's happening this year? The World Cup, obviously. So perhaps a football player would make sense, soccer player. So we just started looking at, who are the biggest ones in the game, and Messi, the greatest of all time. Like there
yeah.
is no better football player than Messi out there, and we realized that we did have a way to get in touch with him. You can obviously go the traditional route, which is reaching out to his agent and seeing if you can get a post on his Instagram page, which would cost you about $1.5 million.
Wow.
We found a back door. We realized that we had connections with people running his merchandising website,
Mm,
and went that way and started reaching out to them through our connections in common, and found out that they were actually looking for more products and they were actually interested in selling our product. And
huh.
we did, like, obviously we had to sell the product, we had to send it to them, they had to approve it, Messi's team had to approve it as well, and they loved it. Like, when he actually received the product on set in the video, you see him like catching it and smiling because he's like amazed by how this wallet works and how the cards pop out. So
That's awesome.
there's a huge factor of luck in this partnership because this guy has like 500 million followers. Like he's one of the biggest celebrities in the world.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect, a D2C brand to be able to collab with them, but also calculated luck, I would say, like finding
Mhm.
a back door and finding a way to work with him. We obviously did not pay the 1.5 million. We would
Yeah.
never invest that kind of money in an Instagram post and a collab like that. But yeah, we did have a nice like revenue share structure. I'm not allowed to
Right.
say much more about it, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's fine. I was just broadly curious.
yeah.
One of my really good friends in Austin is this girl named Jen Batchelor, and Bella Hadid is like, she has this company called Kin Euphorics, and Bella
Okay.
Hadid like literally proactively approached her. Ari Emanuel's assistant called Jen, and she thought it was a prank call. And then Ari
No
was
way.
like, I have this A-list celebrity that like wants to like pitch you on working with you. So like
No way.
Bella Hadid had made her a deck, so I'm just like really interested to see how these
Yeah.
celeb deals, with these like, really sort of
Yeah.
big time people play out. They're good stories. Dude, this was an awesome interview. I really am pleasantly surprised and not surprised at the same time at everything you said. So I usually wrap it up with these two things. One, if you could write one thing on a billboard, what would it be for like everybody to see?
I thought about this. I honestly would like obviously write extra.com. Everyone needs to see extra.com.
Yeah.
But Secondly, I I think sharing knowledge is key in life. Like sharing knowledge with other people and getting knowledge shared with you. That's the reason we're here today. That's why we reach out to so many brands and specialists out there to to learn more and also to give people more knowledge because you want to exchange that. It's going to get you further. So
I agree with that. I mean, that's when I started with my founder brand content creation, I thought this was a layup part of it, just interviewing our customers because everybody wants to know and everybody wants to know how they got successful and why, what they're working on now or whatever. And then when I was talking about things that I could actually speak about, if I wanted to get more customers for email, I would be talking about email, but I actually don't know anything about email, which is interesting. I know like how to build email companies and I know how to create products that like sort of arbitrage the deliverability ecosystem out there, but like
yeah,
I don't know what converts better for a DTC brand. I can't like coach our customers on how to send better email. So like I just landed on I'm going to document and share what I'm doing scaling this company. And like I'm sure the
yeah,
founders will be interested in it because I'm like going like as hard as you can go. And if not, whatever, but it's what I have to say and it's the most authentic. And man, it opens a lot of doors. Like a lot, it just
yeah.
every day somebody's
I
like,
agree.
man, like I like love what you're doing. It may not be like
Yeah,
directly applicable to you, but like, 3 to 5 minutes a day, I'm just like talking about a problem I'm dealing with and like how I'm solving it or whatever.
and I
So I
really
hear
love
you.
the other brands that you bring up or the examples you bring up during this interview. Super nice. Kind of sparks ideas, and I would love to hear of more like more brands that you're talking to and connect with some of them because it's definitely very valuable for
Well,
us.
yeah, let me know. I mean, on my retention.com/podcast, there's like 20 that I've interviewed so far.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, every day we're getting more of the Shopify Plus brands, right? So like
Yeah,
I need, kind of like, I think third quarter, I'm going to like start making a real push into community. I thought Triple Whale did an amazing job at that. Like they brought, so that specifically the event that I referenced earlier, this, they call it the Blue Whale Group. They brought all their 5 million and up revenue brands together for like a little day and a half mastermind, and the brands loved it. They had
yeah,
like there were no vendors there. They just like let me come because I had sponsored all their other shit. But it's
yeah.
just the brands presenting on what they were doing. It was like awesome. I was there for a day of it. Anyway,
Super nice.
my aspiration is to do stuff like that because I think you're dead on. Like you want to know these other people because you can solve each other's problems. Like there's just no
Yeah,
question about it.
agreed.
Cool. And then the final five, where do you live?
Amsterdam,
Relationship status?
single.
Hear that, ladies?
Let's go.
uh, and favorite person you're following?
Ronnie Fee at the moment, the founder of Kith, the brand.
Really? Cool. I'm going to start following him. What's he talk about?
He has so much inspirational content about how he sets up his product collaborations, but also the thought process behind his brand and behind his clothing. And he's so on trend with everything. He's always two steps ahead. He does the sickest product collabs. Yeah, that's one of the brands that I look up to a lot, but it's more
Yeah.
on the fashion side.
Yeah. Awesome. I'm going to check him out. I think they're a customer.
Nice.
Favorite book?
Building a building a story brand by Donald Miller. It's a recent one that I read. It's I'm diving deeper into building out Extra as a brand and brand positioning, brand messaging, rather than just focusing on performance marketing. So right
Yeah.
now, that's really active up in my head.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that book.
Yeah, I'm going through the same exercise, believe it or not. We're like,
Nice.
you're a little bit ahead of me in revenue, but like we're sort of at the same, I think. We have very
Nice.
similar aspirations and timeline of
Yeah.
what we're doing. Um, so last one, favorite vacation you've ever been on?
Heli skiing in Alaska last year
Oh, that's sick.
was the
Man,
craziest experience.
I had a friend who just went to Alaska heli skiing and was like, it was the most unbelievable thing ever. I've been in BC.
Yeah.
I haven't been
Blew
in
my
Alaska.
mind.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Cool, man. Dude, this was so great. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
appreciate
If
it.
people want to follow you, where can they learn more, follow you, see what you're doing at Exeter, all that stuff?
Yeah, I would say LinkedIn, my name, Oliver Moma, and
Hmm.
Exter on Instagram, Exter Wallets or
Awesome.
Exter.com.
Cool. Well, thanks very much,
Thanks, man.
Oliver. This
Appreciate
was
it.
a blast and I learned a lot.
Yeah, same.